Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video, we're going to be installing the brand new Morimoto XB Evo Headlights on the 5th generation 4Runner. Stay tuned because we'll be starting the video off with some before and afters. Then we'll do a quick review. We'll go over all the neat features these lights have to offer, followed by a quick installation. All right, guys, I'm super excited about these new headlights for the 5th generation 4Runner. I've been running some LEDs in my stock halogen projectors, and the light output and spread is less than ideal. I'm either getting flashed constantly or I need to aim my headlights down, which creates bright spots right in front of my vehicle and poor long distance visibility. The XB Evo headlights are dialed in. Personally, I really like the spread of light with these headlights. I did notice a small U shape kind of in the spread, but this is actually intentional. The U is placed specifically in the spot to prevent you from blinding other drivers in the opposite lane. The cutoff is also great with these lights, and the spread is wide. There are two spots of focus light in the middle for long range visibility, but the spread is also great off to the sides for close range. The high beams are very powerful and spread the light up, high, and to the sides. The lights are also easy to aim and level with each other. A lot of thought clearly went into the beam pattern with these lights. These lights are actually designed in California by Morimoto's optical engineer Yoshi Ishida to deliver maximum visibility while ensuring they are also street legal and DOT approved. The headlights also use OE grade LEDs that are made in Japan by Nichia. The drivers included with the lights will actually run the LEDs at only 30% of their maximum output. Morimoto sells supercharged drivers, which will increase the light output to 70% of what the LEDs are capable of, but these will no longer be street legal at this point and should only be used off-road. I honestly love the exterior look of these lights as they have a sort of blacked out look that adds contrast and really goes well with my vehicle. I noticed the stock lights to look more of a chrome or silver look, which isn't appealing or modern these days. The shape of the lights is also more sleek and blends nicely with the body, unlike the bulgy stock housings. These headlights are also very customizable out of the box. And what I mean by that is they have 4 different DRL options built in that you can change on the fly with the color-coded keys that they provide. You simply switch the color-coded keys out with the vehicle off to switch between amber DRL, white DRL, a fade-off turn signal, or a sequential turn signal. This is nice because before you had to buy specific housings for the DRL option that you wanted. These lights also feature a built-in heater, which is a ceramic heatsink and fan that you can activate by flashing your high beams 4 times after startup. As long as the ambient temperature outside is below 5 Celsius or 23 Fahrenheit, these will warm up the lens, melting snow, ice, and frost. Overall, the build quality and design are unparalleled and far exceed anything else on the market. They're also priced at $1,500, which is the same price as the previous offering, which had way less features. All right, let's jump into the installation and I'll show you how to correctly aim these headlights. All right, so step 1, pop your hood. Under your hood, you're gonna have this black plastic panel you'll need to remove. There are 13 clips. They're just push clips. You can push them down with your finger or a tool. Once they are all pushed down, you can pry them up. Just pop them up with a flathead screwdriver or a pry tool and put them in a plastic bag or container for safekeeping. Once they're all off, you can pull this plastic cover off and just put it to the side. You'll have 2 more clips next to the headlights. You can use a flathead screwdriver. You need to pry up from multiple angles on these clips to get them to come up. Usually about 3 different angles and they will come up. So here I am prying up on that clip. There we go. I'll just pop out and just put it off to the side. Then you'll have a 10mm bolt in the middle. Remove this and put this in a safe spot. Then you can actually pry this piece of plastic trim out. It seems to work better if you pry from one side. It will just come loose. All right, so coming into the wheel well, you'll have 3 10mm little bolts or screws. I did the Viper cut, so I only have 2. Once it's free, you can pop that mud guard or that liner from the bumper. Then you'll need to pull down on that top bolt, kind of pull it outwards, and it will pop loose. Come under your bumper, you'll have 3 more 10mm bolts. Again, I did the Viper cut, so I just have 1 here. So we'll undo all 3 of those, and then your bumper should be loose and you can start to peel it off to the side. So here I am peeling it, and that will give us access to a little 10mm bolt here under the headlight, right there. Use a 10mm socket and remove that bolt. Alright, so coming under the engine bay here, again, next to the light, you'll have 3 more bolts. One that's hidden under this trim. So again, a 10mm socket, and just remove all 3 of those. Once those are removed, we can pop our headlight loose. So what you want to do is pull up on this top piece of plastic here that will kind of pop up, which will free it. Move the bumper cover out of the way. Pull the light forward and flip it and that will give you access to all the clips on the back. So we'll need to remove all of these clips to free the light. They're just little push clips, so just push them in, find the right spot, push down with your thumb, and they should come loose quite easily. You might need to wiggle them a little bit. Once those are all loose, you can now remove that headlight and put it off to the side. We're going to actually be removing a piece of plastic off of this headlight. So you'll need a Phillips head screwdriver. And depending on your housing, you may have 3 Phillips head screws. I only have 2 on mine, here and here, so remove those. And you're going to keep that hardware, and you're going to actually use that black piece of plastic, that mount, and you're going to put it on the Morimoto headlight. So here we are with the Morimoto headlight. So we'll just slide that in. There'll be a little channel for it to pop in. Make sure those Phillips head bolt or screw holes line up perfectly, and then reuse that hardware from the original OEM headlight. Now's a good time to put those super drive chargers in if you have them, and the keys that you want. I put the black key in, so I have amber DRL with sequential turn signal. Alright, so we're now ready to put in this harness here for our frost-free heater. We're going to get in our relay or fuse panel, so just pop that off to the side. We're going to take our little white fuse removal tool that's in there. We're going to use that to pop out our 10 amp injector fuse. Mine was located here, but yours may be in a different spot. So under that cover, it will tell you where your 10 amp injector fuse is. That's the one you're going to want to access with this add a fuse relay. So just slide that in to that spot there. That's how mine is routed. You can see there's a little plastic grommet there. We're going to want to install that plastic grommet on the cover lid here. So I'm just marking where that wire is going to come out and where I want to put that grommet. So I'm going to use a 7/32 drill bit. And I actually drilled in right where the seal was. And I thought this would be a good location as it would kind of keep the seal going with my box. So basically where I drilled out that seal, that's where my grommet's going to sit. So I need to actually cut it out now with an X-Acto knife, just so we have a spot for that wire to feed up. So here I am cutting it out. And now I'll slide that grommet right into that hole and it should fit perfectly. All right, so there it is. There's a grommet on the back. I think that looks nice and clean. We're now ready to put the rest of the harness on. So clip it in here, and the short end will go on the driver's side, and the long side will go over on the passenger side. You're gonna wanna feed it over this kind of cross member that goes across the engine, and just zip tie it in place. Don't worry, you won't see this wire, as our black plastic cover with those 13 clips is actually gonna go over top of this and hide it. So this is where Morimoto suggests that you run this wire. All right, we're now ready to put our resistors in. The resistors have a powerful magnet on the back, so they're super easy to install. Just slide it against the metal here in this location. It seems like a good spot for it. Shouldn't be able to move there. And we'll repeat that process on the driver's side. All right, so my harness here, I had full-on halogen lights, so that's the harness I'm going to be using. If you have LED low or high or full LED high and low, this is the harness you'll want to use. So if you have a combination of a LED low and a halogen high, you're going to want to pop that cap off and use this harness as well. But with this cap undone, plug in all the connectors. So here I am connecting mine, which is just halogen, so super straightforward. All right, so you'll be left with your heater connection and your main harness connection. So you want to take these two and plug them into your Morimoto headlights. and they are now connected. Repeat this process on the opposite side. And we're now ready to install our headlights. I would suggest putting a little tape on your fender here because your headlight can scratch your fender. And just pull that bumper cover out pretty far to actually slide the light down and in. All right, so we can now put those 3 bolts on the top here in. So here I'm putting the middle one in, the one on the right, and the one under that cover. After that, we can now put that 10mm bolt in under the plastic bumper cover there. And now we can move into our wheel well and start putting those 3 bolts in, or those 3 screws. And then we'll also do that underneath the bumper cover as well. We'll have 3 more under there. So pop this in place. The kind of pointy, longer one will go on the top, and then the 2 smaller ones will go down below. And then you'll have 3 more on the bottom. For me, of course, I just have 1 because I have the Viper cut. We're now ready to slide that plastic trim piece and put that 10mm bolt in, and we'll put those 2 clips in next to the headlights. Perfect, that's all nicely secured. All right, so now we're ready to aim our headlights. So park 25 feet away from a wall, use a measuring tape, and then you'll want to locate this optical marking on your headlight and then measure up from the ground and see how high your headlight is up off the ground. Mine was 43 inches up off the ground, so I had to put a marking on the wall at 43 inches. So whatever your height is of your lights, put that marking on the wall. Follow the instructions on the screen. I had to go 3 inches below that marking to aim my headlights correctly because of the height that my vehicle was at. So to adjust your headlights, you'll want to adjust your headlights to that piece of tape that you put below or at the marking you put on the wall. You'll just turn this little gear here with a Phillips head screwdriver. So just turn it up and down, get both the lights level and at that piece of tape. All right, so now's a good time to take the vehicle out and test it. Make sure that your turn signals are working, your DRL is working, high beams, low beams are all functioning correctly. And then install this plastic cover with the 13 push clips, and you are now done the job. Congratulations, your Morimoto headlights are installed. All right, guys, that sums up the installation of the Morimoto XB Evo headlights. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye now.